Look at that beautiful East Coast sky. What's up, guys? Welcome back to this very different episode of Fully Spooled. I'm here with Matt we're in Maryland. Matt and I went to high school together, and middle school?
Yeah,
and other stuff.
7th grade through graduation.
Yeah. So we're back at his parents' house just hanging out for Thanksgiving, and we thought that since we're here, we should show everybody the very first car we ever bought and modified and learned everything on. So without further ado, here is our very, very top of the line for 1991 Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX. A little history on this car. Actually, you know what? We'll go over some of the features first. What do you think? Features? Okay, features. Let's start off by this, which is what we call the horsecock shifter antenna mod, because there was this big hole right here where the antenna came out of, and we just jammed the old shift knob in there. So that's the old horsecock shifter mod. Let's see what else we have here. This would be some damage from a deer from before we bought it, sometime in the 90s.
Authentic Maryland damage.
From deers. A deer
Also,
damage.
hold on, the features of where my entire username comes from. The whole hybrid DSM thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's
a Mitsubishi Eclipse, but it has a whole eagle interior. So there's eagle stuff. Well, the steering wheel changed, but there was an eagle, side sill thing, an eagle steering wheel, all kinds of eagle talon stuff on the inside.
All kinds of eagles.
And then obviously it's the old all-wheel drive Eclipse exterior. Some very paint-faded hood with lots of rock chips and all kinds of fun stuff up there. The headlights that will not go down. And then there's this part where a truck backed into it a couple years ago when we were not around it. And hey, look, no, never mind. This door panel's got some damage too. I thought that was our one panel on the car that doesn't have any kind of damage.
Actually, this rear quarter, other than some, like the little pin dents,
it's in pretty good shape, actually.
It's in good shape.
So yeah, this is our the very first car we ever bought, and it had 210,000 miles on it when we bought it.
Yeah, I think the chassis has 218,000 miles on it now.
And it has a forged Do you remember any of the parts?
Wiseco pistons, and I can't remember the conrods that I had, but it's all forged internals. 272 cams, all new lifters and springs. Like the whole head was redone.
Well, you built the engine,
a
decade ago?
Yeah, a decade ago. So whatever was current in 2005, 2006.
No, before that, because it was before I moved to California. So it was like 04.
Yeah, probably 04 then.
Like 03.
Yeah.
Although I will say though, under the hood, oh man, that hood is heavy. Under the hood, it's pretty legit. Again, all these mods were pretty much done in 2000 to 2003 or so.
Yeah.
But here we have.
It was the whole GM mass airflow sensor, which was like brand new before.
Oh yeah. Before
everything was computer easily done. You could literally just plug in. Well, now you can just plug in a program and be like, what airflow sensor are you using? What injectors are you running? And it does a fuel map for you. That was before Megasquirt.
That was a MAF. Was it the MAF translator or something?
Yeah, there's a MAF translator.
Yeah, where is that? I've even forgotten all about that.
Well, it's like all the connections are down here. And
look at all of our bare wires
right here.
everywhere.
Here's the
there's the MAF translator right there.
That plugged into and then the custom fuel lines, 800cc injectors,
custom
fuel pressure regulator,
spider webs everywhere.
Yeah, tile wastegate.
It's funny, this was the car that we first learned on ever. That we first ever learned car work on, but we actually built it pretty well.
Yeah. How long from the moment we bought this car to the moment it was in this state? 3 years?
I mean, yeah, a short amount of time. It went from on its way to a junkyard to, going to the DSM shootout, and then...
We went from thinking that the car had a radiator and a second radiator to knowing that there was such a thing as an AC condenser.
Yeah, we learned a lot on this car.
Although that's not in here.
Some of our mods are not quite up to par. Like this sheet metal holder for the fuel pressure regulator is not awesome, and it's very sharp. But otherwise,
hey, when you're 22 years old and have no money, that is the best mod you can possibly do.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. But I mean, like this, ghetto. we need to like rewire all this stuff. I mean, it is crazy. But you know, the sad part is really this car is sat.
It's been 9 years.
9 years of not driving it, so we need to kind of pull the engine apart again, probably replace a bunch of seals and some rubber stuff, and then most likely pull the engine out and put it into a new chassis because this one's seen better days.
We found I was doing work in the hatch and I had to pull off all the plastic interior panels, and we saw the actual body, like the actual metal body inside of it, and it looked like it was an undulating
tree
wave.
fell on it.
Yeah, I mean, the car has significant structural damage.
Yeah.
We've had it aligned originally, and the control arms were so bent that they couldn't align it. Like, the steering wheel was at 10 o'clock position when it was straight.
Yeah.
The body's just broken.
Yeah.
But it served its purpose.
Yeah. No, we learned a lot on this car. We learned, you know, about intercoolers and turbochargers and just basically how to modify a car was all done on this. And this was the best thing. We paid, what, $1,000 for it?
Yeah.
In 2000?
With an engine, it
ran.
started.
It ran.
The transmission didn't work. That was its issue.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
It ran, and it did drive and everything. We actually drove it around, but it needed a lot of work. And of course, I would love to be able to start it up, but it hasn't started in so long that we're afraid if we start anything, it'll just like explode or something. So you can't hear it running, but don't worry, it just sounds like a DSM on really heavy cams.
Let's think about the useful things that you learned on this car. Custom fuel lines, which you're going to be doing. We reran all the brake lines, like as in replaced all of the hard brake lines that went from the master cylinder.
Well, we had to remove the ABS, that's why.
Yeah, we removed the ABS. So everything brake related. We've taken the engine apart in full. We've rebuilt the engine in full. Rebuilt the transmission in full. Well, we didn't do that. We did remove the end caps.
With Shepherd.
Yeah, this is a Shepherd transmission.
With a welded diff, right?
Yes. We've done custom turbo piping. We've done intercooler piping. We've rerouted wiring. We've rewired, I mean, all the gauges are wired internally. The whole SAFC was wired. So all the things that you're doing now on your Lexus kind of started here.
We learned a lot in this car. It's been a really, there's a lot of love for this car. We've been through a lot together.
It's like part of the family.
It's had the headliner removed and then replaced with whatever the sound deadening stuff is.
No, that's just whatever's default. That's what
really? Underneath it? That's not too bad though.
No.
218,000? Yeah, 218,571.
Yep.
It's pretty good for a turbo DSM. Yep, there's a lot of love for this car. It's been through a lot of abuse with us, but here's the damage to the inside the hatch, where you can see something kind of smashed right there in the middle.
It's been bondoed pretty badly here.
Yeah.
None of these panels line up. None of the plastic panels would line up.
But we learned a lot. That's it, guys. We just wanted to kind of show you all around our very first ever car, the one that we learned everything that we know on pretty much.
And the garage that we used to spend
tens
and tens and tens of hours.
And this was our workspace, our original workspace. Back in 2000, we kind of set this whole place up, and before it was a wood shop, we had that silver Eclipse right there for a long time. And
air tools.
We had pictures of like our other cars on the wall, cars that we wish we owned from Super Street.
Then it's your car and this car.
Oh yeah, and then there's my Talon and the Eclipse. Next to pictures of other people's, awesome cars. So, it's pretty cool. All right, guys, that's it. We just wanted to say hey and check in, and there'll be more stuff coming soon from Fully Spooled. The drive shaft will be finished up. We have a lot of welding to do on the car, and that'll be coming in the next week or so, because it's the holidays and it's kind of hard to work on.
That's true.
Stuff. So
we've got to go get fatter now.
So much turkey. All right, guys, peace out. Thanks for watching.
Bye,
Stay tuned for more Fully Spooled. Subscribe! And this right here is why you wear eye protection, because that just exploded hot oil all over my face.